Good morning. So today I want to show you how we can do a couple things here in a Google Sheet that's going to help us with some data. So I've entered some data similar to what you guys are going to be doing on your project today. You're going to be entering the data for the age, the mileage, and the price. Well, once we get there, there's a few things that we can do. So number one, if I go ahead and grab this data, which you can see here, and I highlight it all, and I go up here to the data tab, that allows me to sort. And I'm going to go to sort range. And I can sort the range by however I want. I can sort it from, in this case, I want to sort it by the age of the vehicles. So now all of a sudden my data has been changed and I have my sort. Okay, something important that we'll be doing. Now, something else you can do, and again, notice that everything is still highlighted here. Now I'm going to go to insert and I'm going to insert a chart. And over here, once this comes up, let me move me out of the way so you can see, I can pick out the different charts that I want. And in this case, I just simply want a scatter chart. It's going to plot the data of age versus, in this case, mileage and price. Now, since the mileage and price are so far off, I can go over here into my series. And on the x-axis, notice I'm going from cell A2 to A23. Well, that's my age cell. Let's say I don't want to do mileage and price together. I just want to do one at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to remove B. So now I've got my graph just of mileage versus price. And if I go up here to customize, here I can get my chart titles. So instead of mileage and price, because now I'm going to do mileage versus age. And then I can go ahead and enter. And again, notice if I click over here, I can move this chart around so I can make it look wherever I want. Well, if I come back in again and highlight my data, and I want to insert a second chart, and again, what type of chart do I want? Well, I just want a scatter plot. And in this case, I don't want mileage anymore because I already have mileage versus age. Now I want to remove that series. And now I have my age versus price. So again, this isn't the proper name, so I'm going to go over here to customize. And my chart title, instead of mileage and price, I want to have price versus age. And I can change that up. Again, I'll click off of the editor here. And now I can grab and I can move this chart so I can see it here. Because a lot of times what we're doing with the data is we're looking to see trends, ages, things like that, and be able to use it to make predictions. Now, we can also do it with statistics. So if I come over here to cell A24, and notice when I say A24, I'm referring to the column that I'm in and the row that I'm in. And I type in equals. Because when I type equals into my spreadsheet, it tells me that I'm about to do a formula. So I'm going to do average. And notice that it even pops up here and it says average of A2 to A23. 6.82 years. So the average of the cars that I found, in this case my data, 6.82. Now here's the nice thing. If I go over here to cell A24 and click that cell, notice that it shows up with this little blue rectangle in the bottom right corner. I can drag that and pull it to the right. And now I fill. And if I come back here and look, it's changed. I'm not doing the average of A2 to A23. In this column, I'm doing the average of B2 to B23. And then here, the average of C2 to C23. So it's pulled my data. So now I have a fairly good idea that the average age of the vehicle I'm looking at, 6.82 years, average mileage, and then the average price. Okay. So I'll be able to use this data to make my predictions. Now, something else you can also do in a spreadsheet is you can actually put in pictures. So if I go over here to this column and I'm going to insert an image. And I'm going to insert this image in cells. And then I get several options. So I can go over here to Google search. And I was looking at Subaru Foresters for my data. So I'll go ahead and click that. And now it's put in that cell. And I can go ahead, oops, I filled it. Here's the nice thing. If I make a mistake, I just go over here to undo and undo what I have. And I can pull this down. I can make it look a lot prettier. What I just did, I'll go back to undo it here. I just go over here and click in between my two rows until I get that arrow. And this is going to allow me to change my row height. If I click between the two columns, well, I just click and change the column width. So now I can have a nice picture of the car that I'm looking at in my data. And then again, I can pull my graphs back up. I can get them to go here. And I've got my data. So that's the task that you're going to have to work with today, is you're going to have to find the vehicle that you're interested in. Okay. Go out, research, find vehicles. Again, the task, I think I said at least 15 to 20. Put them in the spreadsheet. Find the average age of the vehicle, the average mileage, and the average price. I want plots for the data, and I want a picture of the potential car that you're looking at. And that is how you're going to do this today.